My good friend Cody made a video giving her opinion about relationships and cheating, which I highly agree with. Awesome video, by the way. Good work. Given my point of view, she touched on something that a lot of people that I've been in a relationship don't consider cheating, which is kissing and emotional cheating. Cody, like myself, do find this as a form of cheating. If somebody is taking up your thoughts and your emotions that should belong to the person that you're with, you're cheating. You are, because those are emotions that should belong to whoever you're with, whoever you decide to share your life with, because when you're in a relationship, that's kind of like the choice you make. You choose to share life with them. You shouldn't be lusting after people. Not that you won't lust, because we all lust. We're all human. We're all going to do that. We're all always going to be lustful creatures. But there's a difference between lusting innocently and lusting corruptedly, I guess you could say. Because I can lust for somebody, like a celebrity. That's a lustful thing. You want them, but you're never going to meet them, and they don't take up much of your time. You're not constantly thinking about them, going, fuck, man, they're always on my mind. No. But when you do that with somebody other than your partner or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, then you're cheating, because now you're spending time thinking about somebody else, wanting to be with somebody else other than them, which are emotions that should be, towards them. Now, if you're not ready to settle down, my honest opinion is be fucking single and date. Date who the fuck you want and keep it honest. Listen, I'm into dating. I'm not into serious relationships. I'm not interested right now. You're amazing and I really like you. Really like you. Stop throwing around love like it's a fucking word that means nothing. That means I like you. I've had people tell me they love me, stir up and down they love me. Whoa, Lord Jesus, if they can move the moons for that second, they would. But they don't really love me. They like me a lot, and they care about me. But they don't love me enough to make it work, and that's the difference. When you really love somebody, you do whatever it takes to make it work. And if it gets to a point where you both recognize that it's not going to work, then go your separate ways. What is the point of cheating? Why can't people just be honest and go, I don't want to be with you. It's not working for me, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I know it's hard. It's not like you can just say it. Some people just can't. But I don't know. Find a way to say it. Write a letter. I hate this, but call and say it. I hate texting, but text and say it. But communicate it somehow, some way. Don't just fucking go around and tell them you love them, and fucking then next thing you know, you're fucking with somebody else, or you're kissing somebody else, or you leave them to go be with somebody else, and then they find you, and then you're like, it's not what it looks like. It is what it looks like. It totally is what it looks like. You totally left me to go and be with this person, and then you want to tell me that it's not what it looks like. So inconsiderate and wrong. And I agree with Cody 100%. I'm old-fashioned. I'm an old-fashioned person. And I consider those things cheating, because I feel like those emotions should be mine. I'm telling you I love you, and I mean it. My thoughts are yours 24/7. And I've been accused of being a flirt. My God. They tell me I'm a natural flirt. And maybe I am. I'm a completely natural flirt. I'll look and smile. But to me, that's being polite. You meet somebody, you greet them, you smile, you say, how are you? Nice to meet you. You look into their eyes because you're communicating with them. I was brought up that when you're talking to somebody, you look at them in their eyes and you smile and you're polite, and people find that flirting. I find flirting when you're like, constantly looking for that person to look at you, and then you kind of look and, a little game that people play. Everybody knows what the fuck flirting is. But, I've been accused of it. I thought I was just being polite. I've never disrespected anybody I've been with. But I've always been 100% with my girlfriends, and, try to make it work. And it hasn't worked so far. Oh well. Why I'm alone now. And I'm happy being alone, you know. I'm figuring me out and concentrating on myself. And I really don't want anything serious right now. I wouldn't mind a little fun and stuff, but then again, I feel like it complicates things a little bit, you know. You're taking it one way, the other person might be taking it somewhere else, and then you're like, ugh, you know, that's not really what I mean. But I find that people nowadays don't take the time to be alone and get to know themselves and figure themselves out. And I think that's an important key of why other people back in the days relationships lasted, because people got to know each other. They got to be alone for a while and figure themselves out a little bit. You know, it didn't always work, but I think it's better that way. You just figure yourself out, date yourselves, find out what you really like, what you really don't like, you know. Date. I'm not saying be alone and be a fucking nun, but date. Just don't get serious. I find people nowadays want to get serious at an age where they're not even serious about themselves. They're going to be serious about somebody else, you know? And you can't love nobody. You cannot love anybody if you don't love you first. How are you going to tell me you love me and you don't love yourself? That doesn't work. I've had my own issues with myself, but I love myself. I do love myself. And then sometimes I'm kind of down on myself, but it's just normal. It's because I'm a human being and it just goes up and down with me. But if I didn't love myself, I wouldn't be able to love anybody. And I've loved a couple people, you know, and I love my mom. I really love my mom. She's like the best. I love you, Ma. I don't think she watches YouTube, but fuck it, whatever. The whole world knows. And yeah, that's really my opinion on it. You really need to figure you out, you know. Have fun, date. I've said it like a billion times in this clip, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it again. Date. Figure it out. You know, when you really, really love somebody, really commit. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, it's supposed to be technically in fantasy land where everybody ends up, you know, happily ever after and whatnot. But in the real world, sometimes you just gotta, you know, love them and go through some crap with them and be there, you know, persistently. And I've only had one person like that, and you know, I gave up rather abruptly. Like I was saying, I only had that well, it's complicated, but I'll say that they were willing to try to work at it, and I got to a point that I didn't want to anymore. You know, I got really upset, and I was really angry about some stuff, and it turned bad. I'm not proud of it, and I've grown up a little to acknowledge that, you know. But yeah, and you live and learn, basically, you know. And I feel like if you're really serious about it, then you make it work. And if it doesn't, you go your separate ways. And if it ends up being that you find each other later and it works and it's better, then go for it. A lot of people are like, oh, don't ever look back, blah, 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 blah. Well, you never know, you know? You never know. Some people end up looking back and it ends up being the best thing they ever did. And some people look back and go, fudge, I shouldn't have never done that. I've had that. I've revisited something, and it's just something that I needed to go through again, just to really make it clear to myself, not anybody else, but myself, that it just wasn't going to work ever. And it's only because, you know, I hold on to these ideas of the fantasy type thing, and I kind of want what they talk about in that, you know. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. You know what I mean? And I've kind of got it sort of figured out. Still working on it. But like I said, if you're serious, then do it. And this Facebook shit is annoying. I've had 3 people today, Cody. 3 people today go from married to single to complicated to in a relationship to single to then back into a relationship. And then somebody else went into from complicated to single. So, you know, in this day and age where everybody puts their business out there to openly looking like an ass, you know, You're putting your whole, like, why are you arguing? Like, I agree with you on that. Why are people arguing on Facebook? Like, putting statuses up, like, indirect gut shots to each other. And it's like, motherfucker, we all know who you're talking about. Like, why don't you just talk to each other? Who the fuck else cares? Nobody. They're just gonna read your shit and go, these motherfuckers, they're going at it again. You know, and you're just giving people leeway. And I'm not one of the type of people that cares what other people think. But then again, you kind of do have to, because, you know, this whole image thing and how people view you is important. My sister taught me that. It's important how you're viewed by others. It doesn't have to matter to you, but, you know, sometimes it's good to keep up appearances. People don't need to know everything about you and your whole shit and what underwear you wore yesterday and who you were messing with the day before and who you fucked last night. Nobody cares. If you arguing with this one or that one, keep your shit to yourself. At least some of it, you know? There's such things as privacy, things that we as regular people take for granted, that, like, people in the public eye don't get, that they want it, you know? But, whoa, that was a spiel, right? You know, it's a little complicated, but then again, so is life. You just gotta, there's gotta be a medium. You know, people tend to go to extremes. Either they go one extreme or they don't go nowhere. And to get to that medium is difficult. But damn, we gotta do something, because this shit is getting crazy. This pretty soon, nobody's gonna be married for more than 7 years. Nobody. You notice lately, they get to that point and like, whatever, they give up. Back in the days, motherfuckers worked through their shit. They worked through it. That's how they stayed married. 90 years, 50 years, whatever, till they died. You know? You gotta put some effort, especially if that person really means something to you. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, may not seem this way to some people, but I don't like throwing away people that I really care about, you know, and I've pushed them away. I've done that a lot, but I never throw them away. I notice that about myself, even if it seems like I do. I don't. And sometimes I make efforts to get, you know, back into fixing stuff. Sorry, I didn't quite know how to say that, but yeah. And, you know, it's because they matter. Because if they didn't, then I wouldn't think twice about it. There's some people I don't think twice about. It's just like, whoop, went there. I don't care to go there again, you know? You know, it's friends that come and go. There's people that are meant to come in and go and never come back. And there's some people that are meant to come in, teach you something, go away for a while, and then you come back, you know, and then you know, it's weird. It's tough to figure it out, but we do eventually. That's my view on things. I just feel like if it really matters, then you make an effort. If it doesn't, then let it go. And if you're young, then don't commit to anybody. Do whoever you want to do. Be whoever you want to be, and then live your life. And then if you're ready to commit and make a life with somebody, then make it. You don't settle down. I don't like the word settle. Settle for me is like, well, you didn't go for what you really wanted, so you decided to just, you know, settle here. You know, it's okay. Neither here nor there. It's whatever. You know, I don't like that word. I got this inspirational speaker, and then he was talking about his wife and his dream and how his boss offered him that money, and she said that his dreams weren't for sale, which is really good, because it's true. Dreams are priceless. They're not for sale. They don't cost anything. That's why they're your dreams. They can be magnificent or crappy. You decide. But there's another thing he said. He said, are you going to settle for something good, or are you going to reach for greatness? Because I find it really important. It's true. Are you going to settle for whatever you have now, or are you really going to reach for your dreams and what you want, and to be the greater person that you want to be? And I think that goes for everything in life. Relationships, friendships, work, everything, you know, life. Do you really want to just settle because it's easy, or do you want to go for what is greater, even if it's hard? Because it doesn't always have to be hard, but sometimes it is. Are you willing to settle? Or are you going to reach?